y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today and do a top 10 foundation video. This is going to be drugstore and high-end, but first I'm doing this in collab with Penn Skincare. She's a highly trained esthetician. I would so be going to her if I lived close to her. She does skincare, of course, procedures, very knowledgeable and sweet and beautiful. She's just the whole package, y'all. Love her. Love you, Penn. What I'm looking for in a foundation, something that's not overly dewy, but not overly matte. So I found out recently that that is called a luminous matte. Who knew? And to let y'all know where I'm coming from, my skin type is very normal. Stuff can strip it, but normally it's pretty normal, but I get real shiny in the T-zone. I also like a full cover, medium that's buildable. Okay, these are in no particular order because honestly, I couldn't pick because I love them all. I've divided these up into drugstore and high-end. You just want the drugstore, that's what you're gonna see. Okay, the first one is the Maybelline Fit Me. And this is the matte and poreless, and it is matte. It goes on like velvet. I don't notice this drying me out, but it is marketed for normal to oily skin. So if you like a matte foundation, this is one of my more mattes. It's beautiful. It has a medium to full cover. It makes my skin flawless. I love this. And by the end of the day, I'm a little bit luminous, but not overly, not shiny. So this is one of my more matte foundations though. This one is $7.99, so it's not a big risk. They also sell this in a dewier formulation. The cover on this is beautiful. The next one is also by Maybelline. You're gonna see several Maybellines. The ones that ended at the top that I feel comfortable putting in are pretty much Maybelline. The Maybelline Super Stay. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Huda. I like this so much better. I did a video on the Huda. What I didn't like about the Huda is at the end of the day, I literally looked like I had the swine flu. It broke out in such a thick oil slick. Okay, this starts out like velvety matte. By the end of the day, I do shine with this. I would consider it pretty luminous at the end of the day. It has a thinner consistency, but it covers so well. I would call this a full cover. It's great. I love the finish it gives me. By the end of the day, I'm nice and luminous with it. It's beautiful. Okay, and then my third one is the Maybelline Dream Cushion. This is not overly matte or overly luminous. It falls somewhere right in the middle. This is so beautiful. I put this on with either a beauty blender, a brush, like an artist oval, or a regular makeup brush. It's just beautiful any way I put it on. I love this for touch-ups more than anything because cushions don't last that long. So I like to conserve it and use this as a touch-up, but beautiful, like velvet. Medium coverage, buildable. And the Maybelline cushion is over 10. I didn't put the price down, but I think it's over 10. It's like closer to 15. Beautiful finish on that one. Okay, next I'm moving on to the high end. The Lancome Tint Idole is at the very top. I pick this up all the time. It's a medium coverage that is very buildable. It feels full to me, but they call it a medium cover. This is $47, so it's pricier, and I use about 2 pumps of it. I would call this a matter finish that really turns into a pretty luminosity. It's beautiful. Okay, next, the Estee Lauder Double Wear, a classic. This runs $42. It is a matte finish that's not overly matte. It's a medium to full coverage. It lasts all day. Through gym workouts, I don't have to overly powder with this. Not overly matte looking and not overly luminous. It's perfection. The Double Wear, yeah, if you are like me and have never been to the Double Wear party, it is lovely. Okay, next, the Christian Dior, the Dior Forever, the old one. This is not the new one. This is beautiful. I would call this right in the middle of matte and luminous. It goes on with a velvety, medium to full cover, very buildable. By the end of the day, this is a nice luminosity. I tell you what this reminds me of. These two. The Maybelline Super Stay and the Dior Forever give me the same luminosity at the end of the day. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's foolproof. Every time I put this on, my skin looks good that day. And this is $52. So it's at the higher end of the spectrum, but it's beautiful. Next, I cannot have a foundation video without the It CC. It has an SPF of 50, which keeps me coming back for more. This is more luminous. I would not call this matte at all. It's a thinner consistency. I'll tell you what I love about this. I can blend this with any foundation, get extra SPF, and it just is beautiful. It's beautiful on its own. It's beautiful mixed with just about anything else you have for more SPF. I love this. And it is 38, so I would call this a mid-range. And this lasts me, I'm going to say good. If I was using it every day, probably 4 months, 3 or 4 months. Okay, next, I have the Clinique Beyond Perfecting, and this is beautiful. The only downfall to this one is the doe foot that is so popular with manufacturers right now. But that's okay. I still use this all the time. It's comfortable, medium to full cover. It's marketed as a concealer and foundation, so I thought it'd be too heavy. No, it's not. It's not too heavy. It feels perfectly comfortable, right in between a matte and a luminous, I would say. Very natural looking. I bounce this into my hand and get it in my hand, so I don't have to use that doe foot. And this runs $29, so it's under $30, between a drugstore and a high-end, I guess mid-range. This is the one Annie sent me in our collab. Okay, my next one is actually a BB that performs like a foundation, and that is the Shiseido BB with a 50 sunscreen. I use this like a sunscreen, but it's a medium cover, and I mean a good medium cover, a beautiful medium cover. I would never really have to put anything over it, except I like so much cover. I like using pretty foundations, so I use this a lot of days. This is all I wear to the gym. I really wouldn't have to put anything else. And when I got my first one, I was like, that's so tiny. It's gonna run out so fast. You just need very little. And it's thin. I'm gonna show you. See how it's kind of running down my hand? It's so thin. And then look at that. I'm including this into foundations because this could be a foundation or a sunscreen. I wear it in light right now in the wintertime, medium in the summertime, and it's beautiful. Okay, and then the last one, and these have been in no particular order. However, this one is last. Not because it's not beautiful. The YSL All Hours. You probably all know why this is in last place. This is beautiful. But it's controversial. Brianna Stanko came out with a video a while back and was talking about the alcohol content in this and how it will break down collagen. So I don't use this every day. I have this in a rotation of about 10 foundations, and I use this occasionally. If you were going to buy one foundation and use it every day, I wouldn't get this because it is a high alcohol content, and they say it can break down collagen. That in itself is controversial, though. Some people say other stuff has more alcohol in it than that does. So I did buy it. I do love it. It is right between a luminous and a matte. And it gets prettier through the day. It is a lot like my Dior Forever. It's a lot like my Lancome Tint Adol. This is beautiful. It's also pricey. It's $58. Now, I held off on this forever and wanted it. And then I saw it on Annie P Beauty Defying Age, and then Marlene had it on. And if Marlene Fab and Glam over 50 likes something, I usually like it. Her foundations usually work for me, and I was like, I'm getting it. And I love it. It is so beautiful, and I do enjoy the dog out of it. I enjoy wearing this. If you are going somewhere and you need to know your skin's gonna look good, you can pull this one out. But you know, also I could pull out my Dior Forever. I could pull out my Double Wear. I could pull out my Lancome Tint Adol. I could pull out my Maybellines. But I do love having this. But it is in last place, sadly, because of the alcohol content. So anyway, those are my top 10 foundations. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And y'all go see Penn. She'll have her top 10 over there, and she likes a dewier look. Penn likes a dewier look. So go over and see Penn. Tell her I said hi. And yeah, that's all I have for you. So I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.